Hello friends, welcome back to my channel PU Zone. Myself Priya. Today I am going to discuss about how to file a caveat in court under section 148 of Civil Procedure Code. In this video I am going to discuss about introduction, meaning when to lodge a caveat, who may lodge a caveat, where can a caveat be lodged, how to file a caveat, what does caveat contain, notice, limitation time and conclusion. So let's start with the topic. The first point is introduction. In simple words, a caveat is a right given to a person in civil proceedings to avoid ex parte orders or judgment. For example, X is the owner of the land and he wants to build a house on the same land, for which he even got permission from the municipality. However, Mr. Y, a neighbor of X, is not happy with his decision and claims that a part of the land where the construction is going to be done belongs to him. Now, X, being a wise man, anticipates that Y may file an application. Thus, he files a caveat against Y in a competent suit, praying the court to give him a notice when any such application is made by Y. Lodging of such caveat made X entitled to be informed by the court as well as Mr. Y about any application that is made or is about to be made, and any order passed by the court without giving such notice would be void. Now let us know the meaning of caveat. The caveat in Latin means let a person be aware, and in law it may be understood as a notice given asking not to act in a certain manner without informing the person who gave such a notice. Under the Civil Procedure Code, the provision of caveat is dealt with in section 148A. Even though CPC does not define caveat in a case of Nirmal Chand versus Girindra Narayan, the court defined caveat as a warning given by an individual to the court that no order or judgment shall be passed without giving notice or without hearing the caveator. The person who files a caveat is called the caveator, and the person who has instituted a suit or is likely to do so is called caveatee. The main object of caveat is to ensure that the court does not pass ex parte orders and that the interests of the caveator are protected. Caveat also reduces the burden of court and brings an end to the litigation as it reduces the multiplicity of proceedings. Now let us discuss about when to lodge a caveat. According to section 148A, when people apprehend that some case against them is filed or is about to be filed in any court of law in any manner, that they have a right to lodge a caveat. The caveat may be lodged in the form of a petition under the following circumstances. First, during an ongoing suit or litigation, and in that the application is already being made or is expected to be made. Second, the suit is about to be instituted and in that suit an application is expected to be made. Who may lodge a caveat? Caveat can be filed by a third party as well if they in any manner are connected to the suit in question. However, as it is already discussed that a caveat cannot be lodged by a person who is a total stranger to the case. Now we are going to discuss about where can a caveat be filed. As and when the caveator anticipates some legal proceedings to be filed against him in the near future, he can file a petition for a caveat in any civil court of original jurisdiction, appellate court, high court as well as Supreme Court. Civil courts include courts of small causes, tribunals, forums and commissions. However, in Deepak Khosla versus Union of India and others, the court held that section 148A of the code applies to civil proceedings only and caveat cannot be made against petition made under the Criminal Procedure Code or petitions made under Article 226 of the Constitution of India. Next, we are going to discuss about how to file a caveat. A caveat under section 148A shall be signed by the caveator or his advocate. Where the caveator is represented by an advocate, it should be accompanied by his wakalatnama. The caveat presented shall be registered in a caveat register maintained by the courts in the form of a petition or any other form that may be prescribed. The register of caveat contains the date of caveat, name and address of caveator, name of the plaintiff, the name of the defendant, and the date and the number of proceedings filed as anticipated by caveator. A caveat is always filed with a copy, the postal proof, and an application explaining to the court that a copy of the caveat has been sent to all the parties and thus the court need not to do the same. Even though the court fees of filing a caveat varies for different courts, it is generally a nominal amount of less than ₹100. The rules and format of the caveat are similar for most of the courts. Now let us discuss about what does a caveat contain. A caveat or a notice given to the court that contains actions may not be taken without informing the caveator should contain the below information. First one, name of the caveator. Second, address of the caveator where the notice would be sent. Third, the name of the court where such caveat is filed. Fourth, the number of the suit and the number of the appeal if applicable. Fifth, brief details about suit or appeal likely to be filed. Sixth, name of the probable plaintiffs or applicants and the respondents. Now we are going to discuss about notice. If subsequent to the filing of the caveat, any application is made in any suit or legal proceedings, the court is required to give notice about such an application to the caveator. When a notice has been served on the applicant at the expense of the caveator is required to provide the caveator with a copy of the application made by him along with any document that may have been submitted with the application. If the court or applicant ignores the caveat and does not inform the caveator, the decree or judgment passed becomes null and void. Now let us discuss about the limitation time. As provided by the section in clause 5, the caveat stays in force for a period of 90 days. If within these 90 days an application is filed, then the court as well as the applicant has to give notice to the caveator. However, if no caveat is filed within these 90 days, then no one has the duty to inform the caveator. That is, if the application is filed after the expiration of such period, the caveat stands null and void. If the caveator still wants to be informed, then a fresh caveat needs to be lodged for the next 90 days. Thus, we conclude that Section 148A gives any person who has a fear or nervousness that some or the other case against him or her are going to be filed in a court of law in any manner the power to lodge a caveat in the court. A caveat may be lodged in any civil suit, including tribunals and forums, in the form of a petition. If an application that the caveator had anticipated is made within 90 days of filing the caveat, then a notice is to be served by the applicant as well as the court to the caveator informing him about the filing of such an application. Any judgment or order passed without giving such notice or without giving a reasonable opportunity to the caveator to be heard would be considered void and null. So this much regarding how to file a caveat in court under section 148A of Civil Procedure Code. If you like the video, then please subscribe to my channel.